What's going on, fellow humans and resellers? It is I, James, RedoptionAgency.com. 23 years selling full-time on eBay. And I'm going to do a midday video Monday morning, or Monday afternoon. 3 p.m., 3:14 to be exact. And I just done some pulling. So I'm just going to go ahead and ship this stuff out to give Adrian a little break since he kicked butt on the weekend. Weekend sales were pretty good. Did about $2,700. Yeah, $2,700 on both stores together. Let's see what we did. I think we had 84 items sell Friday. That was the biggest day. And it kind of slowed down after that. And today we're bumming. We're bumming hard. We are bumming hard. 86 Friday, 62 Saturday, 70 Sunday. Right now we're an hour past my halfway point. I'm only at 26 items sold. So pretty wah, wah, wah for today. $251. It's just been like pulling teeth today. Like I'm selling more like $3 and $3.99 items than anything. Or I'm getting, for some reason, I'm getting tons of offers of like $1.99 on stuff. And just one of those days where it seems like the little stuff's being seen a lot more, I guess. I don't know, as Ozzy would say. But we are officially down 3.5 now compared to last month, so we're definitely not going in the right direction, even though the weekend was, sales were up a good percentage compared to the days before that. Just on the big store alone. Big store alone was $25.64, up 7.7. So 48% selling cost. And top 5 items for the weekend was Blu-rays and DVDs. Number 5, $160. Cassettes number 4 at $274. Vinyl at 3 at $339. Hats number 2, $372. Hats is the only thing that's going down. And then CDs, $774 for the weekend in CD sales, up 10%. Well, 9.2 actually, 9%. So, spent the weekend trying to get a nice procedure going since I've added a new element in. And every time I add something new, it's just I gotta take some days to get a flow going with it and then incorporate it into my already existing schedule, kind of like what I did with I started back with those other 3 channels. So took a few days off from making videos just to get into a routine and stuff, and I think I have one set up now. So started making videos again for the other channels today, except for the work with me. I gotta remember to do that. I forget that one for some reason. I forget. And I tried to do a video earlier today, but my one camera's not working, so I probably have to reboot everything, and I didn't feel like doing that. So that's what it is there. So yeah. But like this weekend, like I went to the storage locker to grab some stuff. So I grabbed some CDs and some DVDs that I could scan really quick with the new setup. Pee-wee, stop. With Seller Champ. But then I grabbed some hats, and I found a bin of t-shirts also, so I pulled those over. So but today working on the new store, listed a lot of life preservers, life vests. Getting ready to list a lot of the home goods that I had, those new home goods, but I have no idea where I'm going to go with them. I don't have a spot just to put bigger boxed items. I could start stacking them there. That could be one good spot. So I've got to figure that out. Pee-wee, stop. Pee-wee, stop. He's just licking and biting himself to death. So we're going to the vet tomorrow. We gotta get this figured out, because it's just that on top of everything else this weekend. It was just driving me bonkers. Because when he does it, it bothers me trying to figure out what can I do. You know, so. And he was fine when he was on the prednisone, so I don't know what's going on now. He was fine before that, so it's like all of a sudden it's come back. So I'll worry about that tomorrow. But stop. When I was feeling like overwhelmed and stuff, and then because I felt like I was doing so much but not doing enough. Da 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 da, he makes an appearance with Courtney. What's going on? He's been doing a lot of the head shaking too, even though I've been putting medication in his ears. Like 2 or 3 times an hour, he's shaking his head. And it feels like it's something more than the ear problem. And the same thing with the scratching. I think it's more than a skin problem. I think it's all has to do mentally with whatever's going on. He's been fine thus far since the hospital stay. Now he's starting to ramp up again with this problem. So, trying to get him figured out there. Hopefully we at least got the seizures to stop. So I was feeling very overwhelmed with everything this weekend. And then I didn't want to be in that headspace today. So as I got up, I'm like, all right, what can I do? What can I say to get myself out of that headspace? And as I'm driving to the post office thinking, and the thought of, you are a product of your environment. I always use that as people who grow up in a poor situation. You become a product of that environment. You don't know what else exists out there if you can't see it, because you have no way to be exposed to it. But then the same goes into play any other part of life. If you take a rich kid who grew up to be a rich man who's lived on, family wealth forever, you only know one certain thing. So you're a product of that environment. You may not understand certain other things, or just have a different view of other things than some people would. So as I'm driving, I'm like, all right, I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm feeling a little stress, maybe some pressure. I got all this stuff and I feel like I can't get it listed quick enough. And now I'm learning this new thing. And I'm like, James, you're just a product of your environment right now, which is opposite of the product of your environment that you grew up in. So if the me of then had the pressure of today, would it be pressure or would it be thankfulness? And my thought process just immediately changed right after that, and go, I'm not overwhelmed. I am overjoyed, because I got a lot of stuff and I can just keep listing every day. I don't feel like I have to do a certain amount a day. I just do it because I've got the routine and the setups, systems in place to just do it, so I can enjoy doing it, relax doing it. So I had to put myself back. I had to check myself, basically, kick myself in the butt and go, you can only do what you can do in a day. But to get the best out of the day, you've got to have the best systems set up to take advantage of the processes that you do. And he said do. And at this point, I feel I do, so enjoy. So that changed my whole train of thought. So I just thought I'd share that with you, just in case you're having one of those product of your environment days where you just feel a little down or just distressed. Yeah. I was going to say stressed and depressed, distressed. Put yourself, even if you've never had a different situation, try to put yourself in a different situation, because being aware of the situation is the first and foremost way to get out of the situation. What am I sounding like a freaking vice president right now? I keep repeating the same word over and over again. Do not try to imitate it. Do not. You see, the situation, stop it. I'm not doing it. All right. But you know what I'm saying. So stop. I just want to go into joke mode. Stop and try to do a Kamala Harris impersonation. No, you're not. You got work to do. All right. So on that note, but yeah, just knowing your headspace and where you're at when you're at that space is a major step to not feeling that way anymore, to get yourself out of it. And no matter what the situation, no matter what your headspace is, being fully aware of it is first and foremost. So, all right, I'm going to get to shipping this stuff. Let's see. So don't have much right now. We got 25 orders with some bulk. Multi-piece orders. So let's do this. You okay? First up is a DVD that I listed this weekend with the new program. We've got Cinderella Blu-ray and DVD combo. $3. There's going to be probably a lot of these today. $3, headed to Smartsville, California. I guess a topic I guess I can talk about just popped in my head because of a discussion I heard Primo talking about earlier. And it brought up the times when I talked about it. Another item that I put up this weekend, used the new program for. David Ponder, Love Shines cassette autographed. That sold for $6, headed to Sarasota, Florida. And that is like getting traffic to your store. Remember, I talked about it in Jeff Hayfro Sales. He put up something that sold and didn't really want to sell, but it did. But because my thing was, if you got like good collectibles or like just great items that could create a lot of traffic, like if you have a original pair of Yeezys, right? You don't necessarily want to sell them, but if you put them up in your store and put them at like double the price, you're going to get a lot of traffic into your store, at least looking at that listing. So they were he was talking to Primo, and Span was talking about that. So it was bringing up the things that I was remembering, the things I used to talk about the two ways to get traffic to your store. And that's doing something like that. If you got high dollar collectibles, you don't really want to sell them, but hey, if you put them in your store and elevate the price, you're going to get traffic from those items. And then another is like loss leaders. Best Buy used to do it with CDs and movies. Actually, I think it was more CDs than anything, but that was their loss leader. They knew they were going to lose money on them, because just a new CD back in the day in Best Buy or anywhere, record stores didn't make much money on those discs. You're paying like $8, $9, selling it for $12 on sale. So there's not a lot of margin in there. And if it's a hot artist, the label's charging like $10, $11 for it, and then you're putting it in at $12.99 or $13.99 on sale to compete, you're making nothing off of it. All the money was with the record labels. But if you can find something, even if you overpay for something, and put it in your store to evaluate it why am I stumbling words again? An over-evaluated price. You can look at that as advertising dollars. You paid, $100 for this item that's only worth $100. So you're going to lose money on it when you sell it, right? But you put it in your store for $199 because it's a hot item right now and everybody's looking for them and blah, blah, blah. It's going to generate traffic to your store. You're never going to sell it, and if you do, you're going to lose money. But the longer you keep it in your store and the more traffic it gains, then that's advertising dollars being used to your benefit. Cowboy Junkies. CD, platinum and gold. Sold for $3.99, headed to Honeybrook, Pennsylvania. So think about stuff like that when you're heading into fourth quarter and trying to garner some views into your store, and your hope is to get them into your store so they can they'll buy something else. And of course, as we know, I try to ignore the situation that the problem child in all this, the eBay issues. But as we know, first and foremost, eBay makes it very hard to do anything when there's so many problems with the website. Today, I'm putting up like those life vests. I'm putting in the name of the vest. I'm putting in the serial number, even the model number, and life vest and blah blah blah. But I put in the color, and it brings up everything. So no matter what color I put in on the life vest today, it brought up every light vest, and it again, even though I had the brand name in there, it was bringing up every brand name of it. So it's back into that junk mode where it's just almost like AI's been rebooted to start all over again. The AI search. It just feels like it's starting all over from the very beginning, and here we go again. Because this has happened before, where it's just a jumbled mess in search. Michael Bublé CD sold for $4. Headed to Massachusetts. So this is the second time. People are not too... I got to figure something else out. So on some of these more flimsy ones, we'll put a broken case and rubber band it to it for sturdy. I've had 2 people so far. I'm not happy. The case is broken. And why is it strapped to the rubber band? I don't understand. And I have to explain to them that the case is not part of it. It's just there to support the disc. And of course, they never respond back because they probably feel a little dumb, I'm guessing. But I don't know. So I don't know if I should figure something out or just not worry about it. So I'm like, what would you use that case for? You've got the CD here. What would you do with the case? It doesn't even fit. The cardboard doesn't even fit inside the case. It's like not thinking, I guess. I don't know. ANTON. Oh, we got a Italy. Haven't had Italy in a while. And that is the only one. Remove. Next up, Heavy Metal Love cassette tape. Broken cassette tape. $2.99. That's what my day has been. That's what my day has been. Just my low dollar stuff after a great weekend, and then bloop, bloop, bloop. I shut down overnight, and I should have expected it because they usually do stuff Sunday or Monday nights, or both, actually, I should say. Sunday and or Monday. Sunday and Monday. I'm having a talking issue today. 4, 8. Ain't the first time. Won't be the last. Mark. Yeah, I feel bad for all these people that's going through, had all the flooding tear up their towns and stuff, man. It's crazy. The pictures that are out there. We got this new, just blank blue trucker cap. Sold for $9.50, headed to Bridgewater, New Jersey. Yeah, I couldn't imagine. Roads are now creeks. Concrete's gone. Pull out of your driveway and you're in a creek instead of on the road. It's kind of like the things that I see with like ants. When I'm watching ants and you see the ant build a house, build their nest or whatever in like a low-lying area that water usually stands in at times, and you're like, why are they doing it there? Why are they building there? It's just going to flood them out. And humans are the same way. Why do we build in these low-lying areas? I guess because it's flat ground. I mean, it's probably the cheapest, so that's probably why. But it's one thing to look for when you're, if you're shopping for a house and you're, when we bought this, the first thing we talked to neighbors about is the creek over here. Like, how high has it ever gotten, right? And it's gotten, so it's our house, the neighbor's house, and then there's probably about 100 feet to the train tracks. It's gotten as high as the train tracks where it's messed up the tracks and they had to replace them. So that's as high as it's been, they said. And since we've been here the 23 years, that is the highest it's been since we've been here. And it's only been there maybe twice. Once I remember for sure. I want to say twice because you can sometimes, if there's no leaves, if it's this time of year where the leaves are falling, you can see it from the back porch and see it flowing and stuff. So always one thing to consider when you're buying a house is watching those, being aware of the creeks in the water, and if you're on a downhill level and all this and that. So got a Home Depot Pro Extra hat, sold for $10.50, headed to Minnesota. Always gotta be aware of that stuff. But man, some of those little towns, those quaint little backwood towns, just totally wiped off the map. It's just crazy, all that history, all that stuff. And of course, as a reseller, my mind goes, man, think about all the old stuff that was probably sitting in people's storage and in barns and in old buildings that nobody's been in 30 years, and all that stuff's gone too. So, and don't even get me started with thinking about animals, because that'll just ruin my day. Like how many animals were killed in all of that. So I can't even think about that. Next up, are you ready for a Hanson lot? Yeah, Hanson lot. We got Hanson, middle of nowhere. We've got Hanson, middle of nowhere. We got Hanson, Tulsa, Tokyo, and middle of nowhere. VHS tape. And we got Hanson, Snowed In, Christmas CD. $4, $4, $4, $4. Buy two, get two free. Like when I think about situations like that, that's why I always thought maybe I would be a good, like either a homicide detective or anything that has to do with adults. Like I can handle an adult being hurt. I can handle seeing an adult bleed, an adult die, an adult being severely injured. But I cannot handle children and animals in any of those capacities. But I'm sure that's probably the way it is with a lot of the people in those professions. But on the positive note of being in that profession would be that it doesn't affect you as greatly. Even though I'm a totally emotional person, so to speak, I'm not that emotional when it comes to adults for some reason. Like I'm just calloused to adults being hurt. Oh, he's over there now. So that's why I always wonder if I'd like to be a good kind of I'm told I'm a good caretaker, but could be okay in that profession. What is he doing? Pee-wee, stop. And he's been scratching at his ear, and he'll do it super hard. Like he's just beating himself in the head. I gotta figure that out. Doctors need to figure that stuff out. I don't know if you can hear that. That's him smacking his head. Stop. Let me rub it. Trying to get stuff in his ears, he fights hell and high water to get away from you when he sees you with that bottle. New Kids on the Block cassette sold for $5, headed to North Carolina. Hey. And then the shake. Unless there's something back in the ears that's beyond the medicine that they gave us. We'll find out tomorrow, I guess. Hopefully find something out tomorrow to get some answers. And Damon Riso CD, sold for $3.99, headed to Minnesota. Babe and Courtney's bed. She's gonna probably pop out now. She don't like being crowded on too much. Rob. She was still over there, right? I don't think she went up. K9 Posse. Sold for $10, headed to Texas. So, oh, actually, he's got a block she can't get out. So now I'm starting up a posse to come and look for you. C-A-N. Next up, Smile, Empty Soul. CD. I could use a little resurfacing. So for $8, headed to Gainesville, Georgia. And I sealed it. And now I unsealed it. 4. Chris. Next up, we got Welcome to Dollywood. Dolly House, sorry. Denitra Kane. Some CDs from the Hastings buyout. It's got the Hastings stickers on there. So for $4, headed to Maryland. And he emerges. What's up there? Shake again. Right? We're going to have to get them to really look in your ears and make sure something else ain't going on up in there. And get you totally fixed. Marcus. Back in the spot. Carla Bonoff vinyl. Sold for $4. Headed to New Jersey. Part of his shaking. I like my stain. Where is it? There. Is that it? Boom, 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 boom. Andy. And we got a classical, just a cassette. Sold for $2.99. Headed to Lake Oswego, Oregon. Oswego. I'm curious to see, like, get more and more stuff listed, like when I get my items up to 65,000, are my sales still going to be in the same boat? Because that's going to be telling to whether they're totally controlling our sales and stuff. That no matter how many I put up, still the same number. Of course, it's going to go up some with fourth quarter anyway. Well, it better. Are you ready? Buy two, get two on hats. We got Alabama Crimson. We've got Under Armour. We've got Southwestern Pesa Birds. And we got an Adidas pink hat. 1050, 1050, 1050, 1050. Buy two, get two. If they use that coupon, which I'm sure they probably did. Get in the box. Alrighty, 0, 15. Jamie. Oh, Jamie's crying. Next up, Star Point. It's so delicious. Cassette. So for $8.69, headed to Orange, California. I bought this at a Goodwill. It had a big box of cassette tapes, sealed, multiples of each one. Back in 2007. Paid 50 cents a piece for them back then. Still making money off of them today. That's what makes me happy. The longevity of slow sell-through rate items. Next up, another Danity Kane CD. $3.99. Headed to New Jersey, Syracuse, New Jersey. Four, 6x9. JAIYA. Next up, we got one of Jan's items. We got a tree topper, a gold glitter snowflake. So for $9, headed to Memphis, Tennessee. Will you fit in here? Nope. So I got this just in case, because it looked like it will fit in here. Yes, yes, you will. Boom, what you wanna do? Boink. Nice and pretty. Get you snug as a bug in a rug. 13 by 11 by 5. Cover up that barcode. Next up, Sebastian. Disney Sebastian. Cassette sold for $3.99, headed to Rhode Island. Three. 11 carat. Doink. Next up, we got this PGA New Era bucket hat. Sold for $10.50, headed to Whitmer, California. Bin. You know, Ben, like that movie, Michael Jackson song. Are you ready for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? 4, 8 cassette lot. We got Bangles, In Your Room, single. We got Buddy Holly, The Great on cassette. We got Bangles All Over the Place. Why are you having a problem opening? That's weird. Why you causing a problem, yo? You go in the trash can. Or recyclable, I should say. Boink. Mitch Ryder. So these are various prices, $5 and $4 a piece. I'm sure they did the buy two, get two. Got Poco. Very best of. The Buckinghams, made in the USA. The Band, live in concert. And Kingsman, 20 Greats. Headed to California. Boink. 1, 1. 12. Gem. Next up, we got Gaither Hometown Classics DVD. Sold for $3.99. Headed to California. Wondering if that search problem's why my sales are low today, or if it's something else. Bernadette. And lastly, Twin Peaks CD. Sold for $3.99, headed to California. Los Angeles. jag. Boink. All right. $108.01 in shipping costs. All those $3.99 items, that feels like my total amount that was spent, period. Confirming pay. Hell, that might even be more of a 55% split there. All these low dollar freaking things. Killing me, yo. There you are. Print the labels. What the hell is going on with this hair? Where are you at? Oh, there it is. It's a loose piece of it. I thought it was connected. We're at 4 p.m. right now. Thinking I'm going to make 5x5 is probably could be a complete joke today. Yeah, $260 at 4 o'clock. I ain't even going to make 300 by 5. It's really screwed up today if that's not even the case. It does get very aggravating, too aggravating. That's why I try not to think about the bullshit that eBay puts us through with their frickin' website. Never properly working. Oh, just aggravates me to the bone, like so, and that's why I try to ignore it. Because they are causing the destruction of so many people's livelihoods, and they don't give a rat's ass about it. So yeah, I don't ignore it to because it doesn't happen to me anymore. I ignore it because it just makes me more angry than ever before. Because of the amount of years that it's been going on. Think positive thoughts, James. You're going back to work. Jessica. Ken. Dan. You ever try to find people from your past, but you only remember their first name and nothing else? But then you remember like some of the bands they liked or whatever, so you look at the band page and see if they may have liked I'm talking bands that they not liked but worshipped, to see if they liked their latest post. remember where they've worked in the past, so you kind of look at that page, see if they've liked to post on there anytime soon. Or is that just me? Like Dan was the guy I was looking for. All right, that is all for my crappy ass day. I guess I'll be lucky if I get over $500 today. My lowest in the last 31 days was $435, September 10th. That was a crappy ass day for sure. September 10th. How many items did I sell that day? $34. Today I'm at 27, so I should at least beat that, at least the number of pieces. But all I'm selling is freaking $3 and $4 items. All right, that's it. I'm back to work. I started on a positive note, ending on kind of a downer because I just let it get to me. But James, the older you would be happy with 34 sales. Not the older of me within the last 20 years. Maybe my first 20 years, but not the last 20. Okay, I'm sorry. Thanks, everybody. And I will see you all in the next video. Later.